Microsoft announces an unprecedented wave of job layoffs and studio shutdowns, while the CEO of EA seemingly forgets what his company even makes. I'm Ash Dixon, and this is Jinx News. We all know the games industry is in a terrible state right now. Short-sighted, COVID-era decision-making has now come back to bite the industry's biggest companies. And while those people who made those decisions get to keep their cushy jobs, thousands and thousands of employees have to face the consequences. And there seems to be no stop to the onslaught of layoffs. Microsoft have now announced the closure of several Bethesda studios, including those whose only crime is delivering one of, if not the best game on Xbox this generation. People are rightfully upset and frustrated, and there's a lot to unpack here, so let's break things down on what actually happened, and then we can discuss what it all means. The news broke via an email from Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty, who blamed the cuts on a reprioritization of titles and resources. The first victim of which is Arcane Austin, the developers of the disastrous vampire shooter Redfall. The Xbox exclusive launch was riddled with game-breaking bugs, and it just had fundamentally broken gameplay mechanics, and disappointment and ridicule quickly followed. It was a sharp fall from grace for Arcane, with the studio previously making the highly rated Prey and its sister studio making the critically acclaimed Dishonored and Deathloop. Now, for clarity, Arcane Leon has been saved from these cuts, and as far as we're aware, they're continuing to work on their upcoming Blade game. When it comes to Arcane Austin, though, some members of the team will be joining other Bethesda projects, others will just lose their jobs. For Redfall, the servers will remain online, but its previous update will be its last. Frustratingly, there were reports that a big update was lining up for Halloween. It seems that will never see the light of day. Now, DLC was promised for those who bought the more expensive editions, though that too will no longer be delivered. Though Bethesda have said that they will provide make-good offers to those players, whatever that means. Next up on the hit list is Tango Gameworks, the masterminds behind the fantastic Hi-Fi Rush. Their studio is just getting straight up closed, and while any layoffs are awful, this news has particularly pissed people off. Because let's just put this into perspective here. Not only was Hi-Fi Rush easily the best Xbox game last year, it did so with no marketing. The damn thing was shadow dropped out of nowhere, and even so, the gameplay and the music and the art style was just so damn good, it was still a success. Alpha Dog Studios have also been closed. They're the team behind the mobile game Mighty Doom. That's due to be sunset on the 7th of August, and purchases have been switched off in-game. And finally, Roundhouse Games, who have generally assisted with other Bethesda launches, will be joining ZeniMax Online Studios to work on the Elder Scrolls Online. Overall, it's a huge amount of change, and it's important to remember that it was only back in January that Microsoft announced around 1,900 layoffs. No number has been given yet on the number of people affected this time around. As you can imagine, this news has been met with outrage, sadness, and frustration. Arcane boss Dinga Bakaba took to Twitter to say, "This is absolutely terrible. Permission to be human." To any executive reading this, friendly reminder that video games are an entertainment and cultural industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists and entertainers and help them create value for you. Don't throw us into gold fever gambits. Don't use us as straw men for miscalculations and blind spots. Don't make our work environments Darwinist jungles. You say we make you proud when we make a good game. Make us proud when times are tough. For now, great teams are sunsetting before our eyes again, and it's a f***ing gut stab. He wasn't the only high-profile voice speaking out. The original founder of Tango Gameworks, Shinji Mikami, also tweeted out, albeit with far fewer words, "Tango closed, sad." Now, naturally, a lot of the anger has been directed at Xbox boss Phil Spencer. Not only has Xbox had an abysmal console generation under his leadership, but he himself called Hi-Fi Rush a success, and fans are feeling rightfully betrayed. Some have jumped to his defense though, with ex-Blizzard boss Mike Ybarra tweeting out, "I see a lot of shots at Phil over today's Xbox announcements. I get it, but knowing him as a human, I know this hurts him as much as anyone else." Which, I'm going to assume good intentions here, but read the damn room. It's just outright moronic to say he's hurting as much as everyone else. Phil Spencer still has his job, and he's getting paid an obscene amount of money to seemingly do it very badly. But it's important to be balanced here. Bethesda has a load of beloved franchises, and one of the biggest complaints we hear time and time again is just how damn long it takes for new installments to get released. There's clear intent here to channel resources into beloved IPs like The Elder Scrolls and Fallout. But do the ends justify the means? Did any of these studios deserve to be closed? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Right, that was a lot to get through, so let's do some of the other stories of the day in a quickfire round. And the video games industry media darling Jeff Keighley has posted a tweet that caused something of a stir. The last Battlefield game, 2042, wasn't a favourite among fans of the genre. Plagued with issues at launch, the title carved out several big features that came as standard in previous titles and failed to deliver on promises of actual improvements. So of course everyone was delighted when Keighley posted on Twitter that EA CEO Andrew Wilson had been speaking on the next Battlefield title, calling it a tremendous live service. Not even a live service game, just live service, literally proving that he doesn't think of his video games as games, just services to lever cash out of your wallets and into his pocket. So yeah, it doesn't exactly inspire hope, and overall I just feel sorry for fans of the Battlefield franchise. Let's shift to some better news for FPS fans, as Sony is giving all PlayStation and PC players limited time access to 3 Destiny 2 expansions ahead of the final Shape's arrival in June. The Witch Queen, Beyond Light and Shadowkeep are all available now alongside Destiny 2's past 4 seasons of content, with PS Plus subscribers also getting Lightfall 2. That's an awful lot of content to sink your teeth into. The final Shape has been referred to as the culmination of a 10-year journey, but not the end of Destiny 2, and definitely not the end of Destiny, so fans don't need to worry about saying goodbye, and with this expansion open access, maybe new players can join the bandwagon too. And finally, the protagonist of Star Wars Jedi Survivor is getting an official LEGO minifigure. Yes, your favourite Star Wars Souls-like frontman Cal Kestis is the latest video game character to get the brick treatment as part of the Imperial Star Destroyer set, due to launch on the 1st of August. Priced at $160, the set will primarily consist of a Star Destroyer from A New Hope, accompanied with minifigures of famous faces like Darth Vader and this Stormtrooper. And whilst it is unusual for a video game character to get their own LEGO version without being part of a game-focused set, this actually isn't the first time that the Star Wars Jedi franchise has been turned into plastic bricks. Kestis' droid buddy BD-1 previously got his own bespoke build back in 2022, so if anything, Cal is the one having to play catch-up. And that is the show. If you liked what you saw, please sign up to Jinx Plus. That's our Patreon, where you get access to our massive back catalogue of content, as well as exclusive episodes of the first hour. And there's polls that let you have a say on our content. I'll be back on Friday for another dose of gaming news.